Very good evening, everyone, and welcome to the grand ceremony of the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Cybersecurity Centre of Excellence (CCoE) and the Confederation of Indian Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises (CIMSME). My name is Nikita Bose. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Finance Crafter Enterprises and the State Chairperson WEE, that is Women Entrepreneurship Empowerment Wing of CIMSME Uttar Pradesh, and I am the host for this beautiful evening as well. The MOU is an important step in reinforcing cyber safe businesses and other relevant actors connected to the cybersecurity system. This requires a brief introduction of both the organizations that are going to go ahead with the signing ceremony. So let me first introduce our organization, CIMSME. The Confederation of Indian Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises (CIMSME), the Global Council for Cluster Excellence and Research, the Global Council for Promotion of International Trade (DCPIT), and the International Council of Technology Management and Applied Engineering are a group of not-for-profit organizations. We provide industry's best practices through education while enabling collaboration, mentorship, peer-based learning, and the sharing of innovative ideas for entrepreneurs across the globe. We are the fastest growing entrepreneurial support network in the country. The group aims to be the leader in providing the best industry resources for building thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem through the Sustainable Entrepreneurial Program across the wide scope of industries and disciplines. We are a go-to organization for micro, small, and medium enterprises, startups, women entrepreneurs, studentpreneurs, solopreneurs, and other entrepreneurship support organizations that are dedicated to nurturing the unique businesses in their communities. We are a national business network of 9,324 plus leading entrepreneurs. Founded in the recent past by a group of young entrepreneurs, the Confederation enables business owners to learn from each other, leading to greater business successes and an enriched personal life. So this was a small brief about CIMSME that I could say. And now let me introduce about the Cybersecurity Centre of Excellence, CCoE. CCoE is a global hub based in Hyderabad to catalyze innovation, entrepreneurship, and capability building in cybersecurity and privacy. It is a joint initiative of the government of Telangana and DSCI set up to fulfill the DSCI's commitment towards creating a safe, secure, and a trusted cyberspace. Their objective is to build best practices, standards, and execute initiatives in cybersecurity and privacy domain. They nurture a culture of innovation by incubating startups, conducting training, workshops, events, showcasing the products in experience zone, hosting delegations, and collaborating in local, national, and international initiatives. They achieve their core objectives by creating engagements that align to our vision and mission. Towards this end, they also drive relevant research through academia and R&D centers, help organizations commercialize technology, and boost the use of the state-of-the-art technology, tools, and infrastructure to help build cutting-edge and market-relevant cybersecurity products and services. By extending support to industries, government, academia, R&D centers, and user groups, they adopt a holistic approach towards cybersecurity and nurture an environment conducive for the growth of the practice. They look forward to establishing themselves as India's top cybersecurity incubation centers by enabling startups to engage, innovate, and scale. So let me also speak about the founding partners of CCoE, that is a Data Security Council of India, which is set up by NASSCOM in 2008, and it is a not-for-profit organization, premier industry body on data protection in India, committed to making the cyberspace safe, secure, and trusted by establishing best practices, standards, and initiatives in the cybersecurity and privacy domain. DSCI engages with governments and the agencies, regulators, industry sectors, industry associations, and think tanks for policy advocacy, thought leadership, capacity building, and outreach activities to fulfill their objectives. It also develops best practices, frameworks, publishes studies, surveys, and papers to strengthen the thought leadership in the cybersecurity and privacy domain. It builds capacity in security, privacy, and cyber forensics through training and certification program for professionals and law enforcement agencies, and engages stakeholders through various outreach initiatives through events, awards, chapters, consultations, and membership programs and whatnot. DSCI endeavors to increase India's share in the global security product and services market through global trade development initiatives. They aim to strengthen the security and privacy culture in India, and it also is founded by the government of Telangana. That was a brief introduction about the CCoE. Now, to begin this event, I would like to take this platform to introduce and invite Sri Santosh Ganesh, the man behind CIMSME. Mr. Santosh Ganesh is the Chief Visionary Officer of CIMSME. He's a director for the International Council of Technology, Management and Applied Engineering, a director for Global Council for Trade, Promotion of International Trade. He is a Chief Visionary Officer for the Global Council for the Cluster Excellence and Research in India. He is the Project Director for Career and Professional Development Center, and that is called the Nudge Labs. He is the Director for the Center of Excellence for Innovation, Incubation and Entrepreneurship. He is also the Director for the Center of Excellence for Blockchain Technologies. He is ITIL V03 Six Sigma Product and Project Management and ISO 27001 Certified Business and Management Consultant, a mentor with around 2 decades of experience. He is a BTech graduate in Mechanical and Masters of Business Administration, which is in Marketing and Finance. His experience is not limited to software development, product design, solution design, sales and implementation, turnkey project management, business and management consulting, and implementation of BPM, JIT, lean process or framework, business sustainable service delivery mechanism, business registration and compliance consulting across sectors like corporate, cooperative banking, multi-purpose, multi-state and cooperative society, education and skill training, and etc. He was rewarded. He was awarded for the contribution towards skill development by 24 MRC Network at the Hyatt Regency, New Delhi, and later he was also awarded under the enterprise categories for his contribution to startup ecosystem. He is the author of Bootstrapping Your Way to Success Startups. A warm welcome to Santosh ji, and over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aparna madam and Nikita madam, for briefing about the event and talking more about. I think you have spoken so much about about me. Okay, let me just thank you and the entire team who could make this agreement and the MOU as a successful one. And I certainly appreciate Dr. Sriram. Because he is the man, he is known to me last 3 years when I was nobody. So CIMSME started his journey in the year of 2018, and he was 1 or 2% whom I approached, and he immediately started blessing me and giving me the mentoring and the support to see that CIMSME and I as an individual is able to do something for the society. So I really appreciate and acknowledge his efforts and mentoring that has been, or the love, affections, or the commitment that he has given to the organization called CIMSME. I appreciate and acknowledge once again, and thank you so much, sir, always being there with us and mentoring us. And it's really a pleasure having you with us on this occasion, and even signing up an agreement with Cybersecurity Centre of Excellence. It's also would have not been possible if at all if you've not been there. So because I know that is so hard, it is very, very tough to sign an agreement with an organization of good repute, right? So such a high repute. So now here, let's talk about the importance and what are we going to do as part of this engagement with Cybersecurity Centre of Excellence, Hyderabad. Cybersecurity is going to be not going to be. It is already is one of the biggest concern, the biggest sector I should talk about, and the concern from the industry perspective, because each and every one post pandemic, we started believing that the business only can happen on the cloud, right? So when you are talking about everything on cloud or everything on virtual, probably you are putting a lot of data knowingly, unknowingly onto the cloud environment, and it may be your data related to business, data related to your chief people are communicating and through video conferencing or various other platforms. So you are exposing yourself much more higher than the previous, because the 9-10 months before pandemic, the situation was something different. Today I think we are consuming more than 70% of our businesses happening onto the cloud environment or the virtual environment. So in this way, if at all we all are connected, whether it's our devices or our mobile, or whether it's our network, or it may be our application software, or it may be on anything that is there, is everything is getting exposed now to the open network and the platform. So it is the biggest of concern for us, that if at all, if you're thinking of having a business continuity in place, you should ensure that the platform that you're using it is highly protected, and the data that is getting, because now most of the employees is also working from home, so the data has to flow from one machine to the another machine, and how this data is getting protected, to what extent the permission based data protection or data transfer is happening, it what kinds of coding things, how you're encrypting the data whenever you are uploading the data from the remote desktop to cloud server, so that your application development happens. So there are a lot of new dynamic that has come into the cybersecurity or the information security domain, and it is rightly I think it's a very much right time for CIMSME to partner with Cybersecurity Centre of Excellence Hyderabad to see to it that we learn from them and we propagate the best practices to the community of almost 15,000-16,000 members, SMEs members community that we have. And because one thing is very clear, that we all SMEs are not even thinking of is there anything to be done in case of data privacy or the information privacy. Yes, it has to be done, because in such a competitive environment, competition is there because the innovation is coming. Competition is there because of new technology is being adopted by your competitor, and they are becoming a price competitive, or the comparatively lesser price they are offering the services. So there are a lot of the, challenges that is coming in. So whenever there is so much dynamism in the market, and if at all, if you're not protecting whatever the innovations or the unique or the service innovation that you're doing it, because if we talk about innovation, it's not about the product innovation, it's also about the service innovation. So whenever you prepare the service delivery framework or any such critical document, how are you authenticating that data is not getting leaked, or the probably the resource that is working on your for you on behalf of your organizations is not going to share that data when he move out from your organizations and go ahead and join with the partner organization. So the dynamic or the challenges that is that is coming on the way of making your business more sustainable and relevant to the industry or the sector, or for the for your own company, it is right now is a tough time for us to stand and adopt a good practices or the best practices for the implementation of information security and the cyber security practices for your organization. Whether the organization is having 2 people or 10 people or 100,000 people, it doesn't matter. It's matter how critical data, how much critical data you are able to protect. Because the data and the analytic of data, the report that is getting generated from your system, it may be the market related data, it may be the competitor analysis data, or any type of market research data that you are doing it, that data is very much valuable, because if that data is getting leaked, probably you will not be able to you will not be able to take the advantage what you are supposed to get have been planning to get the advantage out of that. So data is going to play a big role, because everything is going to happen on the cloud. So that different type of signal is coming. The signal is coming from the Facebook, signal is coming from the all the social media, because we are going into more into digital, acquiring the customers. So the data is getting captured into your business intelligence system, and all data matters. whether it's related to the market access data, it's related to the product development data, or it's related to the let's say it's gig economy. So because you may be having a lot of resources who will be working on a part-time method, and there is just some sort of contract agreement that you have signed it. So even that contract agreement terms and conditions is also is very important for you and should not be made public. So at the end of the day, I would like to suggest each and every one of our community to start looking data protection, and not only the data protection, is basically the information security system and the cyber security system landscape, and adopt as much as best practices as possible, not from just to protect your data, but also to bring a very protected environment for your business, so that the business doesn't fail due to any of the unexpected resources getting moving out from the organization, or is getting falling sick during the working life, right? So anything can happen. So it is our duty to see to it that we are having a business continuity plan with a better cyber security and information security practices in the organization to make this happen. And I think that Cybersecurity Centre of Excellence Hyderabad has got an immense capability, and more importantly, whatever I know about Dr. Sriram, he has got a versatile expertise, not only from the cybersecurity perspective. He has been working from the application development, rollout, multiple IT infrastructure deployment, and all those things. So he comes with a very much big knowledge in terms of how these big organizations are growing or scaling it, even pre or post COVID, and how they are making themselves much more secure. So let's not take much of time, and I would like to hand over the entire things to our mentor, Dr. Sriram, to take it up from.
Santoshji, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce Santoshji, Sriram sir, Dr. Sriram. So just a moment, sir. Okay. So, so our guest for today, Dr. Sriram Birudavulu, CEO of the Cybersecurity Centre of Excellence, Hyderabad. He is a senior management executive with over 2 decades of global experience in the IT, ICT, telecom industry, with an excellent track record of progressive achievements. With an expertise in building high-performance organizations that enable and catalyze business and innovative strategy, Dr. Sriram holds a PhD in Open Innovation in ICT, which is Information and Communications Technology, conferred by the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade in 2016. He published a book titled Business Innovation and ICT Strategies with Palgrave Macmillan Springer Publications, Europe, in December 2018. He comes with leadership excellence in reputed technology companies like Oracle, VeriSign, HP, Siemens, and TechSpan, that's Goldman Sachs technology venture. Dr. Sriram has led large multi-million-dollar global engagements with top and mid-tier customers in ICT, telecom, analytics industry in USA, Germany, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, UK, Middle East, Africa, Philippines, and India. He is passionate about innovation, AI, ML, cloud computing, analytics, digital services, agile processing with high quality. It is great to have you with us, sir. I would like to invite you to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yes. Hello, it's such a pleasure and honor to be with all of you today here, and with such stalwarts like Santosh. What can I say about him? He's a serial entrepreneur and a very successful person who is bound to take the industry to new heights with his venture CI MSME. I've seen the growth in the past few years itself, and that speaks volumes. And excellent that real high caliber people like Aparna and Nikita have joined forces with him, and I'm sure that will take it to very great heights. And we are really happy to associate and collaborate with them, with all of you. And one of the things I wish to say is that it is these kinds of collaborations where really the sparks fly, and then ideas are created, innovation is engendered, and a lot of growth can happen. Okay, many good things can happen. So a real pleasure to be here with all of you, and for signing this MOU we hope to make this real fruitful, not just any other MOU, what we think of, but we want to make this a really very rich collaboration. So with that, I'd like to present a few slides on what we do and where we are positioned and what is the road ahead. Okay, so I will just upload my presentation here. That be, how do I allow the
Santosh,
entire screen, is it? Or do I just share the window?
You can share screen, sir. It is there in the bottom third option. It is there, share screen. If it
Entire
is there,
screen.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Yes. So here we are, and our tagline is engage, innovate, and scale. So you see three logos at the top: Cybersecurity Centre of Excellence, DSCI, which is a NASSCOM initiative, which she has spoken about, Nikita, and then the government of Telangana. Because we are in Hyderabad, the government of Telangana is backing us very strongly. Okay, so who are we? The CCoE is the joint collaboration between DSCI and the government of Telangana. We remain as a private industry body registered under Section 80, meaning we are a not-for-profit organization in order to stay neutral in the industry. And we have two goals. One is to uplift the existing cybersecurity ecosystem. That means make it very resilient and strong, the cyberspace. That is goal number one, because with IoT and all our infra and all can get hacked. The second goal is that of capturing a share of the $250 billion market that is there worldwide in this cybersecurity space. So the way we do that is to nurture innovation, entrepreneurship, and capability building. Innovation and entrepreneurship are obviously different things, and capability building is something that bolsters, supports, and makes things happen. Otherwise, you could ask that there is this $250 billion market and new privacy laws are coming. Wonderful. We need 1 million privacy professionals practically overnight. Where are they all going to come from? So who is going to build all these wonderful products and services? That is why capability building is very important. So we are creating a glocal cluster of cybersecurity organizations. Here's our governing council team: Mr. Rajendra Pawar, who is the chairman and co-founder of NIIT, Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, principal secretary of both IT and of industries, Lanka Ramadevi, she is the director of emerging technologies, Rama Vedashri, CEO of DSCI. Then you would have heard of NSCS, which is National Security Council Secretariat. This is you would have heard of Ajit Doval, the NSA, National Security Advisors Group, that reports directly to the Prime Minister's office, not through the ministries. The cybersecurity wing of that is headed by Lieutenant General Rajesh Pant, and his representative sits in my board of directors, the governing council. So we have a direct link to them. And then Mr. Arvind Kumar from MeitY, Ministry of Electronics and Technology, the senior scientist reporting directly to the principal secretary, the secretary of MeitY. Then Mr. Subbarao Perepa, Managing Director of JP Morgan Chase, Prakash Bodla, Executive Director and Head of Carrier, and Anil Nair, who is the Global VP of Network Security Portfolio of Cisco Systems, Mr. Rajanna, who is the Regional Head and the Global Head of Technology Business Unit of TCS, and Mr. Ram Mohan Bhumireddy, who represents the startups of digital trust technologies. His company has recently won the equivalent of Aadhaar in Africa for Uganda plus another 8 countries he's going to do. So we have a strong entry there. So first of all, India's digital momentum. As you know that India's digital footprint is growing very rapidly. Okay, 1.2 billion unique Aadhaar program, and you have 2.21 billion UPI transactions, the highest in the world, and which is about $53 billion in value. Okay, this is just November 22, 1 month's transactions. This is what it is worth. Then nearly 700 to 800 million active internet users, 1.515 billion mobile subscriptions. This is still 1-year-old data. So it must be 700 million at least now, the mobile internet users. So you see that India is aspiring to become a $5 trillion economy and a $1 trillion digital economy by 2025. And it is among the top 3 global economies in terms of digital consumers. And second highest, largest number of users, internet users in the world. And it is going to clock the fastest growth in digital payments transaction value with a CAGR of 20%. These are very, very big figures. Okay. So This, in fact, worldwide digital transformation represents a tsunami. It is nothing less. That means the changes are coming so rapidly and at such a scale that everybody is caught off guard. In fact, the older systems are collapsing. You would see that many of the legal systems and the trade systems, whatever systems, economic systems that were built around physical products and human beings. But now it's moved virtual. So what difference does it make? Of course, it makes a difference. Things that are in the physical world, which have a value, supposing you have a chair, to duplicate the chair takes about an equivalent amount of material and all that and cost, whereas you can get some economies of scale, of course, but in a virtual world you can duplicate of a document at a million copies at practically zero cost. The other thing is, if you're taking the chair example of chair again, you are sitting in a chair, another person cannot use it, whereas in the digital world the entire premise of cloud is that multiple people share the same resource. The same document can be accessed by millions of people at the same time. So that's the idea. So there are fundamental differences which render the existing laws and all not workable, and geographic boundaries and all are there. So if there is you have some business which is there, which is physical, a shop or something, the same thing is there online. You see, it's not bound by any jurisdictions, which also means it can get attacked. Someone from Ukraine attacks it, then of course, where is the jurisdiction? It can get hacked from anywhere in the world. Okay, so it's not, cybersecurity is simply not about installing some antivirus, but many fundamental things are at play. Our entire economy, society, and individual life are at stake now because they've all moved online, whether you're doing banking transactions or so. What's the impact it is having? How do you measure it concretely? You look at this. Over the last 50 years, the average lifespan of companies on S&P has shrunk from 60 years to 18 years. I have deliberately taken 2010 and so on only, which is far, far before the COVID, at least 1 decade before the COVID. So this is a definite trend. Okay. Another thing, digital transformation is going to be difficult, but not doing it is worse. And luckily, the side effect of COVID is that, as per Satya Nadella, Microsoft head, the digital transformation has been accelerated by 1 decade. You look at this, 52% of the Fortune 500 companies, the old guard, have been merged, acquired, and have gone bankrupt since 2000. Which path are you going to take? So that is the question. The value is moving upstream, obviously, and into software. So here's one more thing. The top 10 risks of 2021, as per Alliance Risk Barometer, is the number 1 position. It is cyber incidents. It has moved from 2000. In 2013, it was on the 13th position. Now it has moved to the number 1 position, 2021. Okay. So this is the risk barometer accepted by people worldwide, including the World Economic Forum and all that. So you see that the remaining ones, natural catastrophes, fire, explosion, climate change, all of these are relegated to different positions. The number 1 risk in the world is that of cyber incidents. Okay. So with that context, nobody is going to question this ever again. So you look at the cybersecurity industry, the market size. In fact, during the COVID, this pandemic, the cyber attacks have gone up 700%. And you look at this market size, it's $250 billion. The employment rate, or rather, is 99.99. This is still conservative. The unemployment rate is in the negatives. Okay. That means the demand is more than the supply. It is at some negative 4% or something. Then employment opportunities roles are plenty, and growth opportunities very conservatively at 10.4%. Remember, you cannot extrapolate it because it's not a linear growth at all. It must be as much, I reckon it's somewhere around 14% or something. So what is at stake here? 85% of businesses have experienced phishing and social engineering attacks. $3.92 million is the average cost of a data breach. Very, very steep. $20 billion is the cost of ransomware attacks to global organizations by 2021. 39 seconds, that's all it takes. Time duration for each hack attack. Top ones, malware, phishing, ransomware, DDoS, IoT attacks, MITM. So if you look at this entire crime scenarios earlier, normal crimes, people like in the good, bad, ugly, going with guns, robbing a bank and all that, people can do it from remotely. Okay. And anything that is of value, they need not break into the house. They can control, manipulate, steal the information, use it somewhere else. identity theft. Lot of these things are there. These are very, very big. Okay. So there are state-sponsored attacks that can steal defense secrets. They can cause havoc in another country even without really crossing the border also. Okay, they can take out a power grid. They can cause crash trains. This Stuxnet attack, which was there, one of the largest attacks that happened, the entire Iranian's nuclear program was destroyed. Nuclear reactors, everything, refining processing plants were, uranium enrichment plants were all destroyed just with remote cyber hack attacks. Okay, I could go on and on, but 94% of malware delivery is by email for the common man. So please be careful when you click on any of those links. And attacks on IoT devices, this is just an indicative figure. It is growing like crazy, 5,200 devices attacks per month. So cybersecurity is a very complex domain. It is far more than configuring a firewall and installing an antivirus. As you can see, there are inside-outside threats. Everything DLP, as you see in the corner, is data leak prevention, mission critical assets. These are all the areas which are there, policy management and everything. So when something is designated as the number one risk parameter, okay, it means that there's a lot behind it. It is not that simple or easy. It is rated far more than any climatic disasters or by fire, theft, or anything else. Okay, so this is to just gain an appreciation of what it is like. And India is a global cybersecurity hub in the making. This is one of the hottest, fastest growing sector. So it is driven by the, I'll just go back. Okay. Product landscape, services landscape. There are reports produced by DSCI in each one of these. Cybersecurity Innovation Index, Talent Pool, GCCs and all. 1,800 MNCs have GCCs, Global Capability Centers. That means a footprint in India. Product landscape, 200 Indian security product companies. This is a great story for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Okay, these are Indian companies, security product companies, which are there. AI/ML is being leveraged by more than 1/3. That means they're fairly advanced. 80% of cybersecurity product companies are cloud ready. Then innovation shift from traditional SOC models, which is security operation centers, to the fusion centers. Okay, talent base now 130K, 130,000 employees, basis in services domains, lot of programs. Okay, services landscape growing at 20 to 22% CAGR. Next generation cybersecurity offerings are led by emerging technologies like blockchain, quantum cryptography, and IoT security. We are currently doing a research on IoT security. Global cyber security hub, lot of new ones are coming up. So with this, we'll move to what our COE is doing. We essentially have 5 pillars. So you have industry, government, academia and R&D centers, user groups, which include user enterprises and collaborations. Industry is all the large, medium, and small enterprises. Large ones are all the large ones, MNCs you can think of, ranging from Microsoft, Google, IBM, Oracle, and so on, and Infosys, Wipros, and all. Then SMEs are all the big, all the small and medium sector enterprises, and startups, which we are running an incubation center in Hyderabad also. So you see that startups now, the current Startup India definition is that you're either you're 100 crores, less than 100 crores, and less than 10 years. That qualifies for a startup and all the tax breaks and everything. Okay, so then there are a vast pool of SMEs, tech enterprises. So this by industry, I mean the tech industry. Then government, we have central government, state government, law enforcement agencies, defense, policy making, all of this. We are big on policy making, contributed to the privacy laws of the country. On August 15, Prime Minister Modi had mentioned that India will have new cyber laws. That was, of course, inserted in his speech by Lieutenant General Rajesh Pant of that NSCS, which I spoke earlier. We have contributed, we have drafted many things and given input to their group in order to incorporate in the new cyber laws. Academia and R&D centers, we have vast number of collaborations. So we have collaborated with a lot of, JNTU, it's cluster of 200 colleges, and at Usmania University, we have helped set up a cyber law center there. IIT Hyderabad, Mahindra University, CBIT. So we have Mahindra University, we are running on major IoT security projects and so on. Okay, so and then a lot of capability building projects are also going on there. So because we want to nurture a large pool of talent. Then user groups. Who are user groups? They are the non-tech industries. Doesn't mean that they don't know about technology, but they have a large pool of, for example, banks. They have large IT teams. They don't produce cybersecurity products and services and sell them to the other companies or groups. So this include large user industries like banking, pharma, retail, FMCG, manufacturing, defense, all the B2B, B2C, B2G players and all, and so on. User group, we run something called use case clearinghouse workshops to extract the important use cases out of these industries and present them to the tech industry. So that it takes care of a lot of guesswork and what they should build their products and solutions on. So user groups are very important because you need to be customer centric. User groups are the ones that invest the money, report breaches, and so on. Then collaborations. So we are very rich in this area. This is a perfect example with CIMSME. We are collaborating with Russia, with UK. We held one cyber insurance seminar last week, and with Netherlands, Hague Security Delta, Hague as in the city of Hague in Netherlands, which is the largest cybersecurity cluster in the world, HSD. And more are coming up now. Okay, Rogers, Canada, Israel, Singapore, and so on. So and all the local ones like T-Hub, V-Hub, you take all the ones which are there, FII, FICI, FTCCI, CII. We've done many programs with them. So these help us achieve the scaling effect, multiplier effect. Okay, so and these collaborations enrich and empower the entire ecosystem. So that's about the 5 pillars. The way we do it is through all of these means, right from capability building, research, innovation, incubation, insights, networking, and so on, market access. Just a brief example of what we do in innovation. A lot of things are there. Access to market, access to capital, access to mentors, access to collaborations, access to in this talent pool. Okay, and also in this day and age of AI and ML, you need access to data as well to perfect your algorithms. So we have several startups which are incubated and it is growing now. So holistic impact. Okay, cybersecurity is treated as the 5th dimension of warfare, safety of critical national assets. Please understand that safety is one of the first parameters that's taken into account. If you're taking your family somewhere on a trip, let's say to Delhi or somewhere, and then which one would you choose? A hotel which is in some shady part of the town, there it comes cheaper, or even if you have to pay a little more in a very safe part of the town, you have to decide. And if you were to pick up some country, let's say in Africa, where the scenery is beautiful in that city and excellent food and everything, except that there is political unrest and gun battles going on, leave alone doing business there, you would not even take your family on a vacation. So that's why safety and all those are number one. Now they are being completely are cast into the contracts only. So not only you, but your vendors, your suppliers, everybody needs to be cyber safe. Okay, it needs to have those practices. Now with the new privacy laws coming in India, as well as those GDPR laws which are there in Europe, not only the person, so one cannot wish away. Supposing a bank in Europe has outsourced to a service integrator company in India, IT services company in India, and there is a breach here in this IT services company, that bank cannot wash its hands away and simply say that, yeah, down the line somebody leaked it or some guy ran off with the information somewhere. He cannot do that. He will be held liable in the courts of Europe. Similarly, in India, such laws are coming in. So the entire chain is held liable. So you see that towards sustainable development goals, it is recognized as one of the important ones, because internet itself now, the UN recognizes internet itself as a fundamental human right. Okay, so peace, justice, strong institutions, everything, you can look at it. It's a booming cybersecurity industry, which I already mentioned, $250 billion. So this helps in education, in ensuring economic equality, justice, and so on. That's why cybersecurity is very important for the protection of digital society. So this is a very brief one. This shows that we are backed by many of the good players. Okay, and locally, as we are building a local hub, please do get in touch with us if you have specific interest in Telangana. Otherwise, all our programs are open to everybody. Here's a brief glimpse of the collaborations. City of London Corporation, Hague Security Delta, Controlless, which has presence. It's a huge data center and cloud provider. It has presence in 30 countries. Medchem Pharma Company, IIAT Russia, International Institute of Aerospace Technology, and you look at, so all the 5 pillars are covered here. As you can see, this is a brief glimpse, and this is growing. Big organizations like CDAC to everybody are here. So engaging with the CCoE very quickly, you can participate in programs and events and all. And of course, you have the incubation, which is for startups, and you have corporate engagement, which is the EPICS elite level circle, if anyone wants to get in. So you would have very, very, very specialized ones in which you do thought leadership, shape the market strategy, help build connects, and do many of the things. Focuses on deal flow, scaling will help you in many areas. Okay. So a brief glimpse of 2019. So we did many for all the 5 pillars, right from 5G consultation to privacy workshops, IoT security workshop, DevSecOps, and all that. In the middle, there is something called a RATSCO. I'll just elaborate on that workshop. If you see it under 2, in the middle one. So this is Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure Shanghai Cooperation Organization. What this means, Shanghai Cooperation, although the name is Shanghai, it is based in Tashkent. And this is an organization of which India is a member. Several countries are members. This takes care of the 3 evils. It tackles the 3 evils of terrorism, extremism, and separatism. Okay. So first time in India, a workshop was held here in Hyderabad, and for first, it was very well appreciated. Delegates, intelligence agencies from 8 countries came down here, and that was a very closed door, high profile workshop, and it was very well received. We had to get translators and everyone else also. So this is the extent to which we are going. Obviously, so many of the things like we are doing with MCEME and all are not so much told outside. Okay, like Military College of Engineering in Hyderabad. Okay, for example, they teach tank warfare, signal systems, so many other things, in which 400 military officers are trained and posted onto borders and sensitive areas. So those people have approached us saying that we need urgent training in cybersecurity, both, defensive and offensive. So what happens is, because, if things are hacked, you can get those people, a lot of the bad things can happen. Troop movements are detected, a lot of sensitive information flows out, they'll hack into the networks and all. Such things are there, plus all the other ones which are for corporates, startups, and all those are there. Okay. So we'd invite you many, many good, rich areas of collaboration. Okay. We did a digital payment Abhiyan campaign, which is sponsored by Google, and several other things. Okay. So a snapshot of 2020, many big ones which are there. We organized at least 40 plus workshops, 4,500 cybersecurity enthusiasts plus professionals, exclusive ones. And mind you, we were only inaugurated in 2019 beginning. Okay, so we've had, we were inaugurated in 2020 beginning. So it's 1 year of story. Okay, the facility was inaugurated. So several upcoming initiatives in 2021. This is a very brief glimpse. A lot of other things are happening now. Okay, so if you have any specific suggestion also, we'll be happy to include it in our charter and look at it. But in the first half, we are seeing that several things in the first quarter, several things are planned around IoT security, as METI is sponsoring us, and of course DSCI. Okay. This is a very brief security role map. So people might be wondering what is there in security, how many kinds of people are there, what different skills are there. You look at the bottom, you would see different areas of cybersecurity, right from security operations to industrial control security, BCM, DR, business continuity management, disaster recovery, to network security, application security, identity and access, and so on. And so many varieties of roles which are there. So that is what makes this field very interesting. It cuts across all horizontals and all verticals, and it is simply growing by leaps and bounds every day. Okay, so with this, I will close the presentation. And one moment, how do I do this? Yeah. Okay, so I can take some questions. Hello.
Very, very insightful description from your side, Dr. Srinam. And I, being from a completely non-technical background, I am telling you, I am thrilled and choked to the heart that so much of these danger things are lying around in the corner, and we are not even aware of it. I, being coming down from a banking background, I have been a banker for around 12 years. I have seen those customers running down to the branch saying, "Ma'am, see, somebody has taken out the money. He just asked some OTP on the phone call, and just he just came running. And till the time he came to the branch, the entire money just vanished away." I've also seen that era way back in 2000, and now still going on, wherein emails come when people say that you have won this lottery, and all these things. So I'm sure a lot of awareness is required in this domain, and which is still not there in a country like India. And people still believe that online transactions are not safe. Online, being an online techie person is something, it is of not our forte. So I think a lot of education, and that is how this collaboration will help us materialize and help a lot of people around the globe get aware and be safe. And with this, I would like to introduce our global chairperson, Aparna G. Kumar. She has been there through this MOU ceremony, MOU signing ceremony in physical form, and I would like her to showcase that MOU that we would love to see. Aparna ji, over to you.
Yes, I'm just sharing the screen. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So it's a great moment.
Absolutely,
Great.
absolutely. All applause. It's a historic moment for CIMSME for such a huge and amazing collaboration. Memorandum of Understanding. I'm reading it aloud. Cybersecurity Centre of Excellence and Confederation of Indian Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises on a single page under the memorandum. Thank you so much. And Aparna ji, I would request you to give the vote of thanks.
Okay, let me stop this. Yes. Thank you so much, Nikita, for this opportunity. I hope I'm audible, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, it's a real honor for me to propose the vote of thanks on the auspicious occasion. We are really proud and honored to join hands with the Cybersecurity Centre of Excellence. As Dr. Sriram rightly said, during COVID, the cyber attacks has really gone up. Businesses have experienced cyber phishing and social engineering attacks. As Santoshi said, cybersecurity is very important. We have to protect our data, even if it is a one-person company or a big company. It's really important to protect our resources. I think we have taken this step at the right moment. Let me thank Santoshi for taking this huge step to support our entrepreneurs. Let me also take this opportunity to thank Dr. Sriram for joining us today and enlightening us with what Cybersecurity Centre of Excellence is doing. We're really proud of what CCoE is doing, sir. As the tagline of CCoE goes, let us together engage, innovate, and scale. Thank you so much, Nikita, for hosting the program so wonderfully in between your busy schedule. Let me also thank all the council members who have joined today and the invited guests also for joining us today. Thank you once again. Let's grow together. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Jai Hind, Aparna ji. Thank you so much. Dr. Sriram, there are certain questions that are coming down in the chat box. I would request if you can just answer and enlighten.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Mr. Sushil Walapur from Kerala, he's the state chairperson there in Kerala in CIMSME. He is asking a question: how can CCoE help micro businesses specifically?
Oh, yeah, an excellent question. So we do have frameworks, and there are a whole host of practices there, all the safe practices which are there. Now, some of them, because managing IT infrastructure has become very difficult, a lot of people are moving on the cloud. Then there are things like virtual CISOs, Chief Information Security Officers, and services also being provided. And we have certain tools to assess how good your cyber posture is or how good your practice and safe are the practice. We did conduct, my colleagues are here, we did conduct one session especially for small and medium business enterprises. Okay, so will be conducting more this year. Please do get in touch with us. My colleagues can type here the email ID to which you can reach out to if you have anything specific to ask, or you want to engage, or engage with us or request a workshop. We'll be very happy to do that. This is one segment that is targeted really very much. So that it makes sense to really protect yourself at that respect. It's only going to go up. If you were to sit in the cybercrime stations and all, you will hear all sorts of horror stories, right from individual reputation to the losses that people are incurring silently. Most of the cases are not even reported. Okay, so we do have frameworks for that, and we can help you.
Okay, great. We have a question from Mr. Fakhre Azam. He is the state president for Startup Incubation Cell in UP, in CIMSME. And his question is, any structured cybersecurity awareness program that can be taken forward for different levels of society?
Yes, we do have. See, even when this work from home happened, we released specific advisories for people, for employees, and for system administrators, all different levels, right? Because it is becoming boundaryless now, the organizations, and it has become very diffuse. There are no boundaries. Earlier, yeah, an organization would have, an office has its own office network. Now, even sensitive things are being done out of home or work from anywhere. So, as a result of this, there are advisories for every level and what you should be doing and what you should watch out for. So right from large banks to personal ones, we do influence, or we do have advisories for those, and safe best practices, tools and all. And also we influence at the policy level. So personal, there is a certain limit to which only an individual or organization can do. Some things need to be instituted at a policy level. So please feel free to get in touch with us with your queries, because every single thing has an impact, whether it is drones or whether it is the cyber currencies, okay, cryptocurrencies which are there. There's a lot of impact on how things function and all. So we'll help you with the resource. We are a very vast ecosystem, so you can reach out to the right people specific to your area of concern, and we can help you.
I'm sure this would have answered well. I'll just take two more questions. It is from Mrs. Anju Bajaj. She is the national chairperson for the MSME vertical in CIMSME. She asked, it is your suggestion for new project to be taken up in cyber security. Please guide.
This is too vast a question. See, you have to realize that it spans cybersecurity. Will span anything that is digital. So whatever you are touching, anything that is digital, whether it's your mobile phone, laptop, or even things that you are unconsciously doing. If you're walking, remember your location is tracked, your GPS is tracked. If you're walking into a mall, there may be cameras around. So you are being, your face, everything is being there. So we have to ensure that it is not being misused. See, number one reason, or rather the only reason why 50 Chinese apps were banned was because of security. Okay. And even in some countries, some equipment, telecom equipment is not allowed because they don't trust the hardware also. So there is hardware level security, right from chip level security to network level to virtualization, middleware, operating systems, applications, to all the things that whatever you do, including news itself, fake news, including, let's say, reputation management. Pictures are morphed and posted and there is damage to reputation of some girls and all these kind of things, right? So this is it spans everything. So if you were to talk about a cybersecurity project, I would not know which area it covers. If it's we do help all the 5 pillars which I have mentioned. So if you have something specific, we'll be very happy to help you. Because this is CIMSME, I would think that projects here in this context, projects pertaining to CIMSME would be very helpful. How to protect MSMEs, and MSMEs which are in the tech sector, what are the cybersecurity projects they can take up, or are they the products that they are developing? We would be happy to help them. So we meet them every day. We in fact run an incubation center. Okay.
I'm sure, Anju ma'am, we have a long discussion to be done on this, and Anju ma'am is super excited to be a part of this discussion. So thank you so much. Last question I would take up from Mrs. Swapna More. She is the state chairperson for Maharashtra. What guidance would you like to give to new entrepreneurs for cybersecurity?
So, entrepreneurs for cybersecurity is that if they are entrepreneurs in the tech space, in which they are building software or doing anything technically, you have to have security by design and privacy by design. You cannot retrofit it into the design. Okay, so right from it is a part and parcel. Security should be a part and parcel of everything that you do. Okay, so that cannot be left as an afterthought, saying that I will put a lock later or something. It doesn't work. It will badly fail. Okay, so these are the two things, and privacy by design is also very important. Now, privacy is for personal data, and there is another privacy law coming up for non-personal data. Please understand, violations of this are going to be treated very severely. For companies, it is as much as 4% of their global revenue is going to be slapped as a fine if you don't. Plus, there are several other consequences. The moment a hack or a breach happens, there are at least three things that happen. Number one, the operations downtime completely. The number two is that you'd have several regulatory fines and you run into many legal problems. That is number two. Number three is reputation damage, which goes all your current and future customers. They realize that things are not safe with you at all, and they may cancel contracts. The value goes down. All these are the reasons why it is treated as the number one risk in the world by very well-regarded entities around the world. Okay, as I had mentioned, it is none of those other things, natural disasters or anything. Cyber incidents are the number one risk around the world. Okay, even nuclear reactors are not safe. Nothing is safe. There is the whole dark web there out after you. Mobile phones and all those are there. So please watch out for that. So there is nothing like absolute security, just like in the physical world. Even if you provide zero, what is that? Zero category, Z category security also to a prime minister, you can still get assassinated, as history has shown. Okay, so which means that there's nothing like 100% foolproof security, but you can protect your critical assets and take all the measures what you should be taking. So cyber hygiene, starting with it, is very important, and then progressively you need to improve it depending on the criticality of it. Okay, everybody doesn't need the criticality of a nuclear facility or of defense, right? So it varies vastly.
I think with this, we come to the end of this beautiful evening, and we are so enlightened with the amazing insights that you have told us. Honestly, I'm sure a lot of us would have not been knowing that what kind of threat is all around us, and how we can, cope up with the same, and how we can go ahead. Who is the right person to help us out in this? So I'm sure this collaboration will give us a lot of insight, knowledge, and everything, and all the entrepreneurs across the country in CIMSME and else also will get benefited through it. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Dr. Sriram. Thank you, Santoshji and Aparna Ji Kumar ma'am, and everybody else who has been a part of this evening. Thank you so much for being a part, and have a very good evening. Thank you.
Sure. I've tagged the email address to which you can reach out if you have any queries and all that, marketing@ccoe.dsci.in, and please do feel free. And most of you may be having my email ID as well. So fine. Thank you so much. Looking forward to this wonderful collaboration. Very, very fruitful. We are hoping it will be. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing the credentials. I'm sure that would add value to this session. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining in. Have a good night.